Save up to $500 on a Purple mattress during the President's Day sale. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
Fire conditions change. She's suing Mayor Karen Bass, claiming that she was punished and pushed out after speaking up about problems tied to the deadly Palisades fire. Crowley says that budget cuts weakened the department, put firefighters and residents at risk, and that once she spoke publicly about those concerns, she was stripped of her job in retaliation. NewsNation's Rich McHugh has the details.
Well, the knives are out. In this lawsuit, former LA Fire Department Chief Kristen Crowley is ripping Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, saying she's shifting blame and lying, ultimately that she was fired as part of a cover-up to take attention away from Bass's bad decisions. When the Palisades fire erupted, taking 12 lives, Crowley says that Bass initially praised the fire department's preparedness for its deployment strategy, but as criticism mounted over the fact that Bass was out of the country in West Africa and that she decided to cut the fire department operating budget, Bass reversed course and then fired Crowley 6 weeks later.
A necessary step to the investigation was the president of the Fire Commission telling Chief Crowley to do an after-action report on the fires. The fire chief refused. We all know that 1,000 firefighters that could have been on duty on the morning the fires broke were instead sent home on Chief Crowley's watch. These actions required her removal.
I did not refuse to conduct an after-action report. And let me be clear, this is a false accusation. On the morning of the fire, I did not send home 1,000 firefighters who could have hopped on fire engine and fought the Palisades fire, nor did I leave 40 available fire engines unstaffed. These are all false accusations as well.
Crowley alleges Bass retaliated against her for blowing the whistle after she revealed that the city's $17.6 million in budget cuts severely limited the LA Fire Department's capacity to prepare for and to respond to large-scale emergencies like the wildfires. But Roger Bailey, who represents over 3,000 families suing the state of California, says litigation like this is forcing these facts out and that accountability is coming.
And she's pointing the finger at Mayor Bass. And what she has to say is accurate insofar as the city and the state have not revealed all the facts to the public. They've withheld facts. They've altered facts so that by the time you read about something in an after-action report, it's incomplete, it's not accurate. So the real facts are actually coming out, and what former Chief Crowley is doing is saying, as we have, you need to make full disclosure to the public. You haven't done that, and it needs to happen.
Now, we asked Mayor Bass's office for a comment on this. They gave us a statement. It says, "There's nothing new here. Ms. Crowley was removed from her post for her failure to pre-deploy and her decision to send 1,000 firefighters home instead of keeping them on duty on the morning of the fires broke out. This lawsuit has no merit." I think this will not be the last and certainly not the first lawsuit. We're going to see more and more as the weeks and months roll out. Back to you.
Doctors are saying that over the next 25 years, more women are going to be living with serious heart conditions, and not just later in life. Signs are showing up earlier, lasting longer, and are too often being brushed aside as just stressed or you're just too tired. NewsNation weekend anchor Anna Koyman joins us live with this story. I mean, Anna, this is serious. Doctors say if we don't change course now, 1 in 3 women could die from this.
Yeah, I was surprised by these numbers, actually. Good morning, Marky. This really is a wake-up call for women and for parents, because nearly 6 in 10 U.S. women could have cardiovascular disease by 2050. High blood pressure, diabetes, obesity. That's what it includes. And the projections for girls ages 2 to 19 are just as alarming. We'll break those down momentarily as well. So this is all a projection. It's not a promise. But this is the American Heart Association essentially asking, what if we don't improve? Cardiovascular disease, it's this big umbrella, right? It includes high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and more. This forecast here shows how many women could be living with these conditions. And the American Heart Association says 1 in every 3 women are going to be dying from cardiovascular disease. So cause of death too, Marky.
Yeah, and so what's driving it? Because it's not just about older women. Is this all, we're eating too much and we've become too inactive as a society?
Well, so the pressure really does start early. And to your point, it is our modern lifestyle. It's a big part of the problem anyway. These ultra processed foods, our sedentary habits. I mean, we drive everywhere, right? We sit all the time, and increased screen time too. It's all driving obesity and diabetes, and all the stress that we have and the lack of sleep only add to these risks as well. The big drivers here are high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. And then these girls' numbers are just a real warning sign as well. By 2050, nearly 32% of girls, 32% of girls ages 2 to 19 could have obesity. That's up from 1 in 5 in 2020. Childhood obesity leads to high blood pressure and diabetes, and that means a higher risk for disease. And here's another problem too, Marky. Women still get dismissed when they report warning signs.
A woman will go to the ER. She'll share that she has chest pain, and she doesn't get the workup that a man may get, meaning an EKG, a troponin, which can share, has there been an insult or stress to the heart? Instead, she may get, are you stressed? Are you anxious?
All right, so the doctor we talked to there, Marky, says, very often women, it takes a lot for us to go to the doctor anyway because we're taking care of the kids and taking care of the household, and now we're all trying to work in this life as well. And then when we do go to the doctor, she says sometimes we get dismissed as well.
Yeah, I just went to the doctor this week to get a blood panel, just to be sure that, I'm on good footing. And we want to be good examples for our children. Anna, thank you so much. A really concerning headline. You can catch Anna Koyman, everybody, every weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock, noon Central. Some of their families are moving forward in suing health officials, claiming they failed to enforce an evacuation plan that was required by state law. The attorney for Camp Mystic families, Justin Shapey, is joining me along with Ryan DeWitt, who lost his daughter, Molly. Gentlemen, good morning to you. First of all, Ryan, just my deepest condolences. As a mother myself, it's unfathomable. 7 months later, how are you and your family holding up?
Thanks for having us, Marky. It's my wife and I just say every day we're just putting one foot in front of the other. It is an ongoing nightmare, a perpetual nightmare that you can't wake up from. But what we endeavor to do every day is to live our lives like Molly did. She was an amazing, shining bright light of happiness, of inclusivity. She was just an amazing kid, and we've actually found out so much more about her from her friends, from the school, from our church that we never knew. And to us, that's the coolest thing about Molly, is that she never felt the need to talk about herself and promote herself. She did it because it was in her heart. She loved Jesus. She was a girl of deep faith, and we miss her every second of every day. But our actions for the rest of our lives, including what we're going to talk about today, are in her honor.
Yeah, and fighting for her and the others, she was beautiful. Just an impossible loss. You're taking legal action, suing several state health officials, saying they systematically ignored certain safety protocols and failed to enforce an evacuation plan. Just as her dad, what does justice look like to you?
Yeah, and it's justice for her, but it's also justice for the 26 other amazing young ladies who lost their lives. This has always been about accountability. It's always been about transparency, and it's always been about prevention. We, as a group, actively gave testimony in Austin for the passing of Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1, which we were successful in doing. During that process, we heard the Department of State Health Services say that they confirmed that there was an evacuation plan. The issue is that you can't check a box on a safety plan that doesn't exist, and that's exactly what the case was. There was no plan. The directive was stay in your cabins. That's the exact opposite of an evacuation plan. And our girls paid the price for that. And the two counselors, Chloe Childress and Catherine Ferruzza, who will forever be heroes in our minds, those girls stayed with our girls because they knew that was the right thing to do. And we're forever grateful for that.
Justin, let me bring you in as the family attorney, and I understand you're representing 7 families in total. The lawsuit names 6 specific officials. Why these officials? And the other thing that you lay out in the suit, too, is that they inspected this camp 2 days, before the flood. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, we have records that we've obtained through Public Information Act requests that show actually 10 years worth of inspections with this same plan that clearly did not comply with state law, where they passed every year. But as you mentioned, just 2 days before the tragedy unfolded on July 4th, an inspector went to the camp, saw this policy that said do not evacuate under any circumstances, and still certified the camp, and 2 days after they actually noted that they passed the inspection. So after the worst thing that could have possibly happened, because the camp had absolutely no plan for what to do under these circumstances, they still certified and licensed the camp, saying that it had passed the inspection.
Ryan, I think the thing that is also just mind-boggling to a lot of people is that the camp has announced plans to reopen at its newer Cypress Lake location. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is urging the Department of State Health Services not to give the camp a new operating license. I know Camp Mystic saying that they're following all state laws, welcoming officials to tour the facility. Your response to that, and if you think they should ever be allowed a second chance?
Yeah, first, we think it's incredibly insensitive. Seal Stewart has still not been recovered. And to open camp near a river where she passed is mind-boggling to me, to use your words.
Only Purple has the Gel Flex Grid, designed to help you wake with less pain, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Save up to $500 on a Purple mattress during the President's Day sale. Less pain, better sleep. Every day we lather, rinse, moisturize, shave, pluck, exfoliate, steam, moisturize again, stretch, bend, heat, cool, blend, prep, and repeat. It's time your dry eyes got some attention. Try Refresh Optive Mega 3 for advanced hydration that supports all 3 tear film layers with a preservative-free formula, enhanced with inactive ingredients like antioxidants and natural oils with Omega 3. Give your dry eyes a daily refresh with Refresh Optive Mega 3.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Elmo loves to giggle. Elmo's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero. on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
It is so incredibly, this moment's just so incredibly rare, right? For a former president to testify in front of a congressional committee like this. I think the last time we saw this happen was Gerald Ford in 1983. Just talk about this moment and what you're expecting from the next 2 days.
Yeah, it shows just how large of a story this is to the American people. Look, we haven't seen something like this happen before because we've never heard a story like this before. A vast network that Jeffrey Epstein oversaw that involved money, power, the trading of secrets, and the trafficking of young women. So what do I expect to see? Well, first of all, I'm glad it's actually happening because behind closed doors. If this was a public hearing on Capitol Hill, the circus would probably muddy the waters, would probably make them close up.
But you don't think that this behind closed doors muddies it even more? Why not have this in full and lay it out in full for the American people to watch? No questions, no redactions, no editing.
Well, I do think all of that absolutely needs to happen in terms of no editing and no redacting, get all the story out. I think having members of Congress speak to them fully recorded and fully released to the public is important. My worry is having it in a public forum may create a circus that could detract from information that we very much need. And it's not just about Bill Clinton, what he may or may not have done while on the island or while with Epstein or in those video photos that have redacted faces of young women. It's really about the network, the financial things that propped Epstein up and enabled him to do these things. We just saw Peter Mandelson in the UK arrested in large part because he was giving Jeffrey Epstein secrets while he was at Exchequers under Gordon Brown. Did any sort of thing like this happen? Did Bill Clinton know of any sort of transfer of information? We know Larry Summers and Alan Dershowitz, two close friends and allies back then of Bill Clinton, had deep ties with Epstein. What more happened? How did this work? And how can we hold people responsible?
Do you have any confidence, though, that we'll actually learn anything new that hasn't been laid out in the Epstein files? Like, I can't imagine that the former president and Hillary Clinton, who have agreed, and they wanted to do this more publicly, cameras on, doors open, would give us any new bombshells the next couple days. Do you think I'm wrong?
Yeah, I don't know, Marky, to be honest. You may very well be right. Look, Bill Clinton has sat under investigation before. He's a slick, smooth customer. He knows how to, and I'm sure he's been practicing how to answer a lot of questions. So I hope that the committee really has spent a lot of time crafting very specific and very unavoidable questions to hold Clinton's feet to the fire. I think Bill Clinton holds a lot more answers to questions we may have than Hillary Clinton. But I hope this just begins. I know the committee's talking to more co-conspirators after them. So what I hope is this continues to move the ball forward on accountability, and we can get answers and get people prosecuted.
We'll see what those videos end up looking like when we get them next week. T.W. Origi, I got to end it there, but thank you so much for your time and expertise. Why not have this in public? The Clintons said, bring it on, cameras on, doors open. Why in the world would we not have this on live TV?
Politics, simply politics. I mean, this committee doesn't have a lot of credibility. If you're going to bring Hillary Clinton in, who isn't even named in the files to the extent that I know.
Well, more than 700 times, but, I mean, most of those are news articles related to her 2016 presidential campaign.
Okay, but you don't go on a witch hunt looking for something that you can expose, or if you think criminal conduct is afoot, you've got to have a basis for it, especially with Hillary Clinton. With her testimony, it's going to be based on her memory from several years ago, but there's nothing really connecting her or Bill Clinton to any inappropriate conduct. And so most observers will look at this and say, this is a bit of a political witch hunt to play kind of gotcha. Is there something else out there? Or just to politically embarrass the Clintons? Because if you're going to have Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton sit for depositions, then you know the next person that, for credibility purposes, is are you going to have Donald Trump sit? Because they were friends and they socialized not only on the island, but also took trips and what have you.
Yeah, I think that is a valid.
I think it's political theater.
I think that's a valid point, and I'm curious, Scott, if you think that was part of their calculus in finally agreeing to do this and sit down today and tomorrow, is to maybe eventually you see the same thing happen with President Trump, and you can't say we don't do this with former presidents.
Yeah, that's the narrative. The Clintons agreed to sit down no matter what. But the primary reason was because the Democrats on the committee and the Democrats on the House simply weren't going to stand up for them. Once you get Democrats and Republicans saying we want everything out in the open, then they had to sit for these depositions with their lawyers. The real key here is why not do it publicly? The only reason Comer won't do it publicly is because he's afraid it's like a lawyer asking a question on cross-examination. He doesn't know the answer. Comer really doesn't know what they're going to say, and he doesn't want to be politically embarrassed. So he'd like to see it privately, figure out what he's going to release publicly, or even release everything, or even do a redo publicly, but he doesn't know what they're going to say. And he's afraid of being embarrassed because his committee doesn't have the best credibility given who's in the White House and who's watching from the White House.
Quickly, just before I let you go, how big of a problem is it going to be if when those videos and transcripts get released next week, which we're told could happen as early as Monday, how big of a problem will it be if those videos are edited and we don't get the full story?
Well, again, it goes to the lack of credibility. There may be millions of other files that are not released. DOJ and the White House have a real credibility issue there if they don't release everything. And, you know, most witnesses want to do this in private. The Clintons want to do it in public. So, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the committee to release everything and then to go after the other wrongdoers or those who they have information on to put them under oath as well. So it's really up to Comer and the committee. And what's really at stake is credibility of the investigation and giving these victims some justice. And right now, there's no trust factor between the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and the Republicans in the House and Senate, as well as the White House. There's no credibility there, and you need that if you're going to have an open and fair investigation.
Yeah, we'll see what the next 2 days has in store. I guess we'll wait next week to see what the next 2 days really has in store. But A. Scott Bolden,
hope springs eternal.
We will just see, and we'll be waiting to cover it all once we get it. A. Scott Bolden, always a pleasure to have you, my friend. Thank you. So, what's your party's hope for today and tomorrow?
Well, the hope is transparency. It's the thing that Democrats have been clamoring or saying that they're clamoring about for many months. Well, I guess since January 20th, when President Trump got sworn in. They didn't care about transparency the 4 years before that, of course, when the Biden administration had control of those Epstein files. But I think the hope is transparency and to get this former president, this former First Lady and Secretary of State on record as to, what their relationship was with Epstein, with Maxwell and others. And, maybe there's nothing there, but we need to have that full investigation and transparency.
Help me make sense of this, though. Why do this behind closed doors? I mean, the Clintons offered, let's do it on camera. Let's do it open doors. I mean, this would have been one of the most watched television moments in recent history. Why not do it on live TV?
Well, let's not forget, they're offering to do it in a live hearing, but they weren't offering that long ago. They were fighting the subpoena and saying that they were going to defy it, and they were ready to get a contempt of Congress charge. So all of a sudden, they changed tactics. This is the standard procedure, I believe, of the committee. To have these closed door depositions so that they can go longer, they can ask things, and look, they want a show. That's the problem. They want a show where they can, each member would get 5 minutes and all of that. This is a more in-depth opportunity to question the Clintons, and that's what the committee wants to do. And, it isn't up to the Clintons to do that. If they're going to testify and not be held in contempt, they're going to do it the way that Congress decides they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. I kind of highly doubt that either of them, when that camera turns on, admits to any bombshell so earth-shattering that it changes the course of their lives or this story. You know, they wanted to have this moment out in the open. So what do you think the most realistic outcome is?
Well, I think we'll learn some things. I don't think we're going to learn any great bombshell out of this. That you know, I don't think that the former president's going to admit to you know, being on Epstein's island or any of that kind of stuff. I think there's going to be probably some small revelations here or there. There's going to be, I would guess, a lot of I do not recalls here. So that would be my guess, is we're going to have a lot of the former president and the former first lady saying, I do not recall.
You know, I was just talking to our correspondent, Alicia Nieves, who's live in New York, right before you and I started chatting. We're told that we're going to get these videos, we're going to get these transcripts sometime next week, maybe even as early as Monday. Do you think the American people can expect to get those videos in full? No editing, no redactions?
I would hope so. That's exactly what I would want to see, is no editing, no redactions. Now, there might be victims' names that obviously we should protect, and those might be bleeped out or something, which they should be, just for victims themselves. But yeah, I would hope that we would. I mean, I'm for full transparency. I came here to Congress, and I don't even understand really how all of this stuff is even a question. I'm just a guy from Colorado. I don't know these people. I don't hang out with folks like the Epsteins or the Clintons or whatever. There should just be full transparency. Let's put it all out there on the table.
Well, we will be watching to see what comes of today and tomorrow. But Congressman Jeff Crank, I thank you for your time as always. I value what you have to say, so appreciate it, sir.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex Grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together. Because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Save up to $500 on a Purple mattress during the President's Day sale. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at SavedByTheScan.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
This is your prime time. NewsNation, a different kind of prime. Diverse voices, fresh perspectives, with respect for all of us. This is America's new prime time, only on NewsNation.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to bed.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, started off those high-stakes talks in Geneva earlier this morning. This latest round follows after new U.S. sanctions on people and companies accused of pouring money into Iran's missile program, their oil sales. NewsNation Washington correspondent Tom Dempsey is live for us at the White House. Tom, it kind of seems like this is now or never, but the Omani mediator says there's been some sort of progress today. Do you know what that is and what that looks like?
Hey, Marky, good morning from the White House. Yeah, the foreign minister for Oman is helping to mediate these talks today, and he says they're currently on a break, these discussions, but positive ideas have been shared between the United States and Iran. But here's the thing, adding to the significance of these high-stakes talks, President Trump still says military strikes could be possible if no deal gets reached between the two sides. His own team is saying diplomacy remains the goal, but also describing the dangers from Iran, saying the country has tried to rebuild its nuclear program.
Iran poses a very grave threat to the United States and has for a very long time. They are in possession, first and foremost, after their nuclear program was obliterated. They were told not to try to restart it, and here they are. You can see them always trying to rebuild elements of it.
Ahead of today's meeting, Iran's foreign minister posted
Wind it up, folks. It is that time of week again. Put me in, coach. We're getting in the game here. Hang on now. That's the one. Give me a second here, Chris. Go ahead and bring him in.
Hey, don't worry. My mic works, okay? Don't worry. Mine works, okay?
There we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another week of Put Me in, Coach. And as you can see, we clearly are still working on getting a flawless fielding percentage. But without the technical difficulties, we are here. We are live. Jesse, loaded show today.
Yeah.
USA hockey, baseball, automated balls and strikes. We got some football news to talk about. What do you want to dive into first?
Man, I need to also tell people that we're going to debut a new segment here this week.
I'm sorry?
A new segment. A new segment. Brand new. Yep, we got some, we're going to, incorporate some hilarity. And hilarity ensues. So something like that. We got some impressions. First impressions. That's the name of the segment. We're working loosely on that. So no challenge this week. Things got a little bit busy. The real world, gets in the way of things sometimes and takes precedence. So no challenge this week. No punishment. We'll get to all that next week for you. Stick with us on that. Chris, let's dive right into some USA hockey. This was a magical moment for the country on Sunday morning. And it made me think, man, I loved watching the USA men's hockey team win their first gold since 1980 at like 9 in the morning.
That's right.
It makes me, it was such a huge, just the magnitude of the game made it even better. It made me wish that, the Super Bowl was at, 8 a.m. because I just love waking up to high-stakes sports first thing in the morning. Great stuff.
It smells like gunpowder, lead, and sweat, and America. Okay, look, the deal is this game, right, the reason why this one felt about close to as you could get to Miracle on Ice from 1980 is because, just like then, we were such overwhelming underdogs. I mean, everybody and their mom knew. It's Canada. It's their sport. Football is our sport in America. Canada's got hockey.
Yep.
But guess what? The women, they got Canada first in overtime, and then the men to do it. And for this team especially to do it, right, and avenge the 2012, I believe, Winter Olympic double overtime loss, that plus the magnitude of the stakes, I mean, as you said, to win this medal, to bring home gold and beat Canada twice with the men and the women's team doing it, you couldn't have. By the way, on the count of three, can we get a USA chant? 1, 2, 3. USA! USA!
USA! Let's go!
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, Canada at this point, they're the 51st state. We kind of declared that was the way it was going to go after the hockey match.
That's right.
We're joking.
By the way, Jack Hughes, somebody did go on Wikipedia after he scored the game-winning goal in overtime. And, of course, somebody edited his profile to say, Jack Hughes, American hockey player. And it said, quote, Jack Hughes, owner of Canada. Woo!
I loved his interview afterwards, too, where he was talking about Connor Hellebuck being the MVP.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Saying that, he was our best player by a mile, not by a kilometer.
That's right.
Canada,
a mile.
That's right. So, awesome. Just a great moment for the country, for the Olympics, for the U.S. team, for hockey. It makes me, I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not. All right, I don't watch NHL like that. And it makes me want to watch NHL. I don't know if this is going to translate over to that, but, hey.
What a moment.
It certainly drew eyes to hockey in the United States.
I mean, dude, 26 million viewers on NBC for this game. For a hockey game that was that early in the morning, that tells you a lot about how much this mattered to the American population who cares about the country, cares about sports, and, of course, cares about being numero uno, baby.
Yep. So we got them. We got Canada. Honestly, Canada looked great, except for, dude, that goal that I think it was either McDavid or it was McKinnon. He had a wide open look at the net.
Sure did.
And just botched it. Just put it off the post with... goalie was looking the other way. He had the back door wide open and missed it. I couldn't believe that moment there. But and I guess Nike couldn't believe it either, Chris, when folks were they had a bunch of Canada jerseys ready and sold out of USA jerseys because I guess they maybe thought Canada was going to win.
Look, Canada knows that Vegas knows. Sorry, Nike knows that Vegas knows something, right? That's why it's hard to beat Vegas when you bet against them. However, this blunder by Nike and Phil Knight to not have printed enough American hockey jerseys and to have a shortage after they win this game in such incredible magnitude, I mean, that right there is an all-world blunder. I don't know how you screw this up. Because no offense, Jesse, we know every year they print the same amount of winning jerseys for the losing and the winning teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Nike have that same forethought?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you cost yourself millions of dollars by not having enough to cater to the USA population.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have one of these too.
Heck yeah.
Beautiful. Look at
that. Look at that red, white, and blue stand out against the gold.
It's so nice. That's a good.
It's like
a good
God
shot
painted
there.
it. You feel me?
For sure. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. Wrapping that up, hockey. Great moment for the country. Great moment for U.S. hockey. The beautiful emotional touch to win it for the Gaudreau family too. Was awesome. So, Chris, NFL Combine starts today. We've said this numerous times. The NFL never sleeps. It's always football season in some way. But anything for the Combine? Is there an event that you like more than any other Combine event? Is there something coming into this Combine you're looking forward to, or is it just kind of like underwear Olympics?
Right, the 40-yard dash catches everybody's eye because how fast are you? Mm-hmm. But really, right, and I like that event because obviously, right, you want to find out who's the fastest guy on the field. But I do love the fact, right, whether it's a former Kansas City Chiefs selection, Don Terry Poe, or Chris Jones, or some other big lineman, it's so cool when you get a big man who can run under a sub 5-second 40, and you see their entire body just moving in slow motion. Those dudes look like Jell-O on a track star's body, and it's so cool to watch them run. And again, and think to yourself, right? Like, look, I'm 37. I used to play college tennis. I'm nowhere near the shape now, but to think if I sucker punch that guy, I could run away from him. No. The dude weighing 330 is going to catch you and then beat you to a pulp. And these guys are that good. That's why this event is so cool because, again, you see the biggest, strongest guys on the planet, and some of them look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but they'll beat you like they're the thing from the Fantastic Four. You feel me?
Yeah. Man, well said.
Just saying.
Yeah. And we had a picture there of Fernando Mendoza holding up the trophy from the college football playoff. He's not going to throw at the Combine. I mean, doesn't really need to. He knows he's going number 1 overall. So
hope you like Vegas, baby.
Yep. Speaking
better than Oakland,
of course. Yeah, he's the kind of consensus number 1 overall pick going to Las Vegas to play for the Raiders and new coach Clint Kubiak. So we'll see how that goes.
But by the way, can I just say, how dumb is it, Jesse, that people will make a big deal about him not throwing at the pro Combine and not at his own pro day in Indiana? Because no offense, if you've watched a guy play 16 games and then say, it's kind of a turnoff, he didn't want to throw against no defense, with just receivers. I don't know if he's got the stuff under pressure.
Honestly.
What are you watching?
Yeah, and he's not. He doesn't need to. I think that's what it comes down to. He doesn't need to throw.
No.
He knows where he's going to get drafted. So he's kind of in a, this doesn't really mean anything for him.
No.
So now Ty Sampson, Alabama's quarterback, who's kind of the number 2 QB in this draft class, from what I understand, I think. Or, he's among the top QBs after Mendoza.
Because you never know what the big board's going to actually do.
Right. He is going to throw. So that's maybe something that I think we can look forward to see what the Alabama quarterback does and, how he performs. Because he looked pretty good this past season, at least for the first half of the season. So
that's the thing, right? And by comparison, Mendoza didn't have a great first half, but that second half, when they just turned it on, it's like, okay, maybe a little sleeper cell action there.
Maybe. And speaking of quarterbacks, moving on here to some NFL cap casualties, because that kind of, at the same time that the NFL Combine is going on, we're starting to learn more about the, kind of what rosters are looking like, taking shape, how they're changing. Kirk Cousins is, we've learned this week, going to be cut by the Atlanta Falcons. What a blunder that was.
Dude, I mean, look, the guy leaves Minnesota, comes to you for $100 million guaranteed dollars, and then 2 months later, they drafted Michael Penix, which said, hey, we've already got your replacement in mind. But it was the first year of that deal. Now you have to cut the guy and pay him whatever's left of the contract.
Insane.
It just, again, how can we sit here as two guys that never went to an Ivy League, never had these great connections of business, and we can make common sense calls when these brain trust people can't do it in a whole war room full of yes men? I don't get that.
Yeah, that was drafting Penix was
stupid.
It was a dumb idea.
But then again, we know, Jesse, this is the same organization that drafted Kyle Pitts with the 5th overall pick and has never used him like the tight end star he was at Florida. Just saying.
And on Kyle Pitts, actually, he just got the franchise tag this week.
He did.
So we'll see if he signs it or not.
Insane.
But I think he was going to be a big commodity in free agency.
Oh, sure.
So can you imagine if like your boss came to you here and said, you want to leave the job? Sorry, franchise tag.
Can't go.
You can't leave. That'd be crazy in the real world.
Wild.
Another cap casualty, maybe closer to home for Chiefs Kingdom. Defensive end Mike Dana getting released. Now, I think, he's been productive for what he is.
Yes.
Over the years here. And I do think at some point, this is one of those moves to me that says he could be back, I think, at some point. Because, it's just a short-term cap casualty. They got bigger fish to fry right now.
Yep, I agree with that. That's a good take because you're right. Again, for a guy that he's kind of a fringe guy, he can play in the field when you need him to. He's also kind of a leg refresher guy, but he's a locker room glue guy. And those kind of guys, you need them more than you think you do.
Yeah, and he, like you said, he's a rotational pass rusher.
There's the English words I was looking for.
Yeah, you'll see Mike Dana on. He actually starts. I remember the couple games I went to this year, he was announced as a starter at Arrowhead. So, but yeah, he's, I think we'll see if he's back. We will be back with some baseball talk. Spring training underway, baby. Excited to talk about both the Royals and the Cardinals and this new segment we teased coming up.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Save up to $500 on a Purple mattress during the President's Day sale. Purple, less pain, better sleep.
Oh, I don't see where you got your degree.
I don't have one. I went another route.
All right. I guess tell me a bit about your experience.
For 15 years, I've been managing logistics and mastering project management skills.
Wow. Sounds like you've got just the kind of skills and experience we're looking for.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die. I worry for my kids.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Baseball season. It's here.
Let's go.
Yep. Take me out to the ball game, Chris. Spring training is underway here. We're about a month away from the season starting. And for the Royals and Cardinals, there are two franchises in different spots for sure right now. And historically, kind of roles switched at this point in the season. Let's start with, who do we have first over there? I think, just pull up whichever. Royals. Yay, my favorite team. Okay. The Royals this year. Coming into the year, let's just talk about the outlook and kind of what to know for the Royals spring training this year. The man pictured front and center is the guy I have my eyes on, Chris. Jack Caglione, and this guy already off to a blistering start.
Cags, what was it, Tuesday, in the Royals' first spring training game, Cags smoked a 460-foot shot to right field. That was a no-doubter. Now, look, I remember covering this guy my last 2 years in Gainesville when he was a part of the Gators, and he was kind of like the college version of Shohei Ohtani. But now that he's settling into the outfield role to Major League pitching, what is your expectation for him and for the Royals this season, Jesse?
Okay, so for Jack specifically, I mean, dude, he bashed his way through the minors.
He did here at Hammons Field.
Yeah, just immense power from the guy.
It's insane,
and he can hit for average, too.
He can.
He can field. He's getting used to playing right field for the Royals. But when he got up to the majors last year, he slumped pretty badly. He was having a tough time hitting the ball, no power, no contact. Eventually, they sent him back down to the minors to kind of just restore some confidence in him. But, I mean, like you said, this is as good as he could ask for to start. That's what you want to see. So we expect him to be the everyday right fielder for the most part. I mean, he'll probably platoon a little bit, but he can play first. He can play right field. You might see him at DH from time to time as well. There's another guy I want to talk about, though, Carter Jensen. Now, you said Jack hit a 460-foot jack.
460.
Not to be outdone, Carter Jensen hit one 482. Yeah, look up that highlight. Out of the stadium in Surprise, Arizona.
Jeez.
Even better. And I think Carter Jensen's got a real shot to be AL Rookie of the Year this year.
Wow.
At catcher. I mean, you got Salvador Perez aging. You know, how much is he going to play behind the dish? I mean, maybe more than you might think, because Salvi is going to get some time at catcher, of course, but also he can play first, and I think he would be a good candidate to finish his career as a DH. So, as for the outfield, Kyle Isbell's back in center, sturdy defense. I want to see the bat progress a little bit. Right field, as we said, going to be Jack Caglione for the most part, and then in left field, I think between center and left, it's going to be a mix of Kyle Isbell, Isaac Collins, who they got from the Brewers in the offseason, and then Lane Thomas, who comes over from Cleveland. I worry a little bit about Lane Thomas's hitting for average because he had a pretty low, like under 200 average last year. So now, as for the pitching is going to be fine.
Pitching, of course, stays healthy. That rotation, top 5 in all of baseball.
I think so. And the bullpen is right there with it, too. So as for the Cardinals, now the Cardinals contingent here in the Ozarks much stronger than that of the Royals. J.J. Weatherholt is who you're seeing here.
That's right.
He's, questions for him. I wonder, I think he'll obviously be on the opening day roster, probably starting. I'm hearing a lot of talk about him second base.
Correct.
So that's probably the case. I think the question is, where do you put him in the lineup? How high up do you put him right away?
Right, and that's the hard part because he hasn't really seen a major league pitching. He, of course, followed after our star center fielder, Victor Scott, who came up to the majors 2 years ago, right? Struggled to learn how to hit major league pitching. Really did not have a great time. Mm-hmm. He struggled there in that 7, 8, 9 hole a lot rotating. But ever since that season, like always, he's worked hard. He's now near the top of the lineup. And, of course, he's a speedster. And with Weatherholt also coming from West Virginia, being of Fleetfoot, look, your second baseman, that's a guy that historically has to hit within the top 3 guys of your lineup. Now, will they start him out that high? I don't know. But most middle infielders are guys that hit for average. And Weatherholt's not one of your A-Rod or Nomar kind of power-hitting shortstops for second baseman. He's more of like an Omar Vizquel kind of guy with a little more power.
Yeah.
So I would definitely think that eventually his progression needs to be top 3. So you've got Victor Scott, you've got Weatherholt, you've got Mason Wynn. You put those 3 guys in there, that speed, hit for average, get on base, and get them in. And that's how the youth movement can progress this franchise back to a winning organization.
And it is a youth movement after losing Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Brendan Donovan.
Yep.
So they really are in rebuild mode. Another couple things, Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, I think Cards fans are running a little bit thin on their patience with those guys. So catcher, another thing, like Herrera, I mean, he's probably going to be splitting time between catcher and DH. Pedro Pajes, Jimmy Crooks, both on the roster for them to platoon at catcher.
Former Springfield Cardinals.
Yep. And then the rotation, man, I don't know. I don't know who your ace is. I like Dustin May, who they got in the offseason.
Yep.
Had a good stint with the Dodgers and the Red Sox. After that, you've got Matthew Liberatore, you've got Andre Palante, Michael McGreevy, a number of guys. I don't really know. It's just a hodgepodge.
And that's the problem, right? You got rid of Sonny Gray, who everybody knew was the ace. And now what you're left over with is a bunch of guys that feel like Palante. Again, not a bad starting pitcher, but nowhere's ace. Like, they don't have anybody that make you go, okay, if we have one game to win with the season on the line, either regular or postseason, who do you go to? And the answer is you don't know. Hopefully, Michael McGreevy, who, again, Springfield Cardinal, who was drafted with their first overall pick in 2021, hopefully that guy ends up being the guy that you drafted to be. But it's baseball. And pitching, as you know, Jesse, you can never have enough good pitching.
That's right. If they somehow make it to the playoffs, they'll probably just call Wainwright.
Hey, listen, between the 69 and 86 Mets, we've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah. They'll probably just, Waino, you.
Hey, at 44, you still want to pitch?
Yeah.
Got that sixer?
Can you give us 4 innings?
Yeah.
So, we'll see what it looks like. By the way, on the Royals, slugging percentage, hoping it goes up, combined with the moved-in fences. Yeah, let's go. Chris, another baseball note here. We're about to see the ABS system, the automated ball strike system, make its debut this year. So you can challenge balls and strikes, making umpires' jobs a little bit, put the spotlight on them a little bit more.
Long overdue. And listen, I wish I was this clever, but whoever crafted this originally on Twitter, you get the credit. Somebody said Major League Baseball should bring back Angel Hernandez so he can set the single game high score for most overturned calls. Okay? Because when this debuted earlier this week in spring training, it was the Red Sox versus the Pirates. There were 6 calls challenged by either the team at bat or in the field. All 6 calls in that game overturned and ruled the umpire was incorrect. This is overdue because, again, forever and ever, the strike zone has always been a subjective thing for umpires, person to person. And now that we have a real system with a regulated zone, it's going to help the pitching, it's going to help hitting, and it's going to help keep games quicker and more accurate, which is all every fan ever wants to watch in a game.
Yeah, I kind of like the subjectivity to some extent for tradition's sake, but I mean, accuracy is important. So let's do a little new segment here, Chris. Ozark's first impressions.
Yes.
Okay. And basically is a couple topics, and we're going to see what these, we'll give you a little impression of what so-and-so might think of it. Chris, what would Gollum Smeagol think about this new automated ball strike system? What would he have to say, Mr. Gollum Smeagol?
Well, if I was Gollum and I was an umpire for Major League Baseball, I would be very offended by this. I'd be so offended because my precious strike zone is going away. I don't have the cars. I don't control everything. They're taking it away. Nasty fat batters. Nasty fat batters.
What are we doing? I love this. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Gollum, holding your fish. Must be a Marlins fan. That's great. And another one for you here. You know, it's the Combine is here, and nobody better to talk about football in the offseason than me, Scott Hansen.
Oh, Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen of NFL Network fame coming to you here live. Got the duo double box here on a Thursday. We're going to go live to Indianapolis where we're going to watch Ty Sampson throw in his underwear. And as we sit here with 2 minutes left in the show, it's time for the witching hour. Woo! Scott Hansen coming to you live here from Indianapolis with the Combine. And if you're a fantasy football guy, you got to be paying attention to this. Take Chris Full. Go to live to Jesse and Chris Full. There we go. There's Scott Hansen.
Very nice.
That's
very
what he
nice.
would think. So
very nice.
And for the record, guys, we have like a whole laundry list of impressions.
A whole laundry list.
Fair warning, some of them will be horrible. Some of them will be bad, but
I feel like you checked yourself there from saying a bad word that could get us in trouble. So
yeah.
Good job for you for getting that TV brain on.
Thank you. Yeah, I get in here and start talking with you, and I just forget that
just
I have
two
rules
guys
to follow.
riffing.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, let's wrap it up here with some Missouri State Bears baseball. Gosh, we don't have enough time in the show.
I know, we just don't.
Missouri State Bears baseball. Let's roll those highlights. Show us what we're talking about with the Bears.
All right, so this was from Tuesday's game at home. This was their season home opener. It was against Oral Roberts. So exactly a week ago on Tuesday, they beat Oral Roberts in Tulsa 11-zip. They came back on Tuesday, play them again, and they beat them 13-1 because they scored 12 runs. They scored 12 runs in the second inning alone. We had more to show you from this. I don't know where they're at, but basically in the second inning, they're down 1-0, and they went leadoff homer, back-to-back jack, 3-run homer, and then scored 7 more runs to go up 12-1 in the second inning. Schedule update, they will play at home this weekend. Friday, it's a 3 o'clock first pitch against Little Rock. And then on Saturday, you're going to get a doubleheader for the second and third games of that series. And that's all she wrote. So It's going to be a lot of fun. 1 p.m. doubleheader. So that way we can all get out, enjoy sunny and 70 temperatures. And then Sunday's nasty weather can roll through.
And that's, a doubleheader on Saturday, you said?
That's right. Doubleheader at 1 p.m. at Hammonds Field.
And as Scott Hansen would say, 7 hours of commercial-free baseball starts now. Thanks for watching. Put me in, Coach. We'll be back next week. We'll get back on the challenges and punishments as well. See you then.
Only Purple has the Gel Flex Grid, designed to help you wake with less pain, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Save up to $500 on a Purple mattress during the President's Day sale. Less pain, better sleep.
I'm a United States Marine. When I came home, I became angry. I had migraines and respiratory issues.
I served in the Army. There's a lot more people out there that have gone through more things. I shouldn't go and get those benefits because they had it worse.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country. You deserve because you serve. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
This is your prime time. NewsNation, a different kind of prime. Diverse voices, fresh perspectives, with respect for all of us. This is America's new prime time, only on NewsNation.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable. Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here? Biologically, no. Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savebythescan.org.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.